Welcome back, Helldivers, to another glorious SES history broadcast. This time, we take a look at the history surrounding the ignoble cockroaches known as the Terminids. Often referred to as the Terminid Horde or Terminid Swarm, these bugs have been officially deemed fascists by High Command. While there are arguments to be made that individual Terminids are capable of comprehending ideologies, nevertheless, we can always trust the words of High Command, and if they say these bugs are fascists, it is not our place to question such things. As with many of these history lessons, we must first go back to the First Galactic War, specifically the aftermath of defeating the bugs. We encourage anyone who has not been educated on the First Galactic War to check out our previous video breaking down the events. Anyway, following their defeat, thousands of remaining bugs were confined to newly established farming planets, where they were bred and raised before being harvested for precious E710 fuel needed for interplanetary travel. That wasn't all Super Earth had planned for the vicious creatures though, as the Ministry of Science commenced biological and genetic testing, causing the species to mutate from the familiar foe of the past to the threat we currently face. Leaked reports from the Ministry of Science state that due to these experiments, bugs became more spindly and aggressive, as well as creating a much more toxic variant of E710 that was designated the codename Bile. Because of this mutation, High Command released a statement redefining the bugs with the name the Terminids. In the beginning, these farms found extreme success in supplying the space fleet with a much-needed fuel, success that lasted well past the Great Democratization. That was until early February 2184, when billions of these enhanced bugs rose up and overran the eastern sector planets, killing countless civilians that were only trying to do their democratic duty and job. But before we get into the events of the Second Galactic War, we should go over a few things about the tenacious Terminids. The bugs' mission to infest worlds has been almost entirely in the eastern planetary systems, specifically 6 sectors: Lestrade, Sten, Falstaff, Marin, Draco, and Genji, though they have also infested the Orion, Umlaut, and Borga sectors as well. Now that we're caught up to speed, let's get into it. With Terminid outbreaks engulfing the Eastern Front, Helldivers from all corners of the galaxy were mobilized when High Command issued Operation Valiant Enclosure, a multi-phase campaign to contain the growing threat by establishing a network of towers known as the Terminid Control System, or TCS. This system, proposed by the Ministry of Science, uses the chemical agent termicide, known for its potent ability to wipe out entire planets of Terminid hostiles within a matter of hours of initial exposure. The TCS was first launched onto what was known as the Barrier planets, a line of 4 worlds in the Umlaut sector that were currently being occupied by the bugs. Unfortunately, before our valiant Helldivers could begin establishing the TCS, the planets Heath and Angel's Venture required retaking, so access to the Umlaut sector could be reopened, which was swiftly accomplished by February 14th. Success was short-lived though, as surprise automaton attacks into the XR sector put Operation Valiant Enclosure on hold, with High Command issuing orders to defend crucial planets from the bots. That was until an unexpected outbreak of Terminids on the planet Velt almost caused the entire operation to fail, forcing High Command to once again relocate its core of troops. Helldiver forces besieged the planet and quickly pushed back the bug threat, though while focusing forces to liberate Velt, the key planets Heath and Angel's Venture were lost to the Terminid menace, causing SEAF forces to be locked out of the Umlaut sector once again, after some time of a back-and-forth tug-and-war for control over the general eastern planetary sectors. Until on March 12, 2184, when High Command issued the order to officially activate the Terminid control system, mobilizing the SEAF and Helldiver squads to rid the galaxy of the bug threat once and for all. It should be noted that it is unclear if the entire species was marked for termination, or more presumably just to cull the outbreaks, as E710 fuel still remains vital for Super Earth's fleet. Nevertheless, over the next 4 days, Helldivers bravely fought and was successful in creating an impassable wall of termicide deployment in the Umlaut sector. Finally, on March 15, 2184, Super Earth was proud to announce all TCS towers in the sector were activated, eliminating 99.6% of all Terminids across the 4 planets within a matter of hours. With Operation Valiant Enclosure coming to an end, SEAF and Helldiver squads turned their attention to liberating Terminid-controlled territories within the following operations: Prime Liberation and CBCT Protection. But it was during this time that rumors and reports started to spread throughout the ranks of Super Earth. The bugs were evolving. These scattered reports remained rumors until the Ministry of Intelligence officially confirmed them on March 21st with the announcement of a new flying Terminid threat known as Shriekers. The official breakdown report of the new enemy stated, capable of swift aerial movement, often found in large numbers, as well as possessing blade-like appendages that often result in decapitation of any soldier or citizen caught off guard. At the same time Helldivers were combating the new flying menace, Terminid spore spewers and Shriekerness evolved heavier armor capabilities and an overall tougher carapace, causing grenades and small explosive munitions to be rendered useless against the structures. Despite these evolutions, Helldivers quickly adapted to the new threats and armored structures with ease by switching to heavy munition stratagems. But another unexpected event was about to change everything for Super Earth's mission to retake the Eastern Front. The Terminid control system soldiers fought so hard to establish was starting to experience issues. While the TCS appeared to maintain its ability to be a valuable deterrent of bug advancements, it also appeared that the Termicide itself was beginning to lose its potency. The Ministry of Science issued a statement that through a process known as hormesis, the bugs were not only becoming resistant to the chemicals, the Termicide was also causing a dramatic increase to the reproductive rates of the Terminids, creating a massive surge in the bug population on many planets, but more specifically Meridia. In April of 2184, High Command officially deemed Meridia the first location of a Terminid Supercolony. After this announcement, the months of April and June saw this Supercolony stronghold destabilize planets all over the Eastern Front with no stop in sight. During this time, all the departments of Super Earth convened and frantically tried to come up with a solution to the new Supercolony threat. It was at this time the Ministry of Science suggested the use of dark fluid injections on the surface of Meridia into its core in order to implode the planet and hopefully restabilize the sector and ending the Supercolony once and for all. On June 2nd, 2184, SEAF, assisted by Helldiver squads, launched onto the planet's surface and were immediately met by heavy bug resistance. After hours of brutal combat and thousands lost to the Shriekers alone, Helldiver's forces were successful in their mission to inject the dark fluid, causing the implosion of the planet and the destruction of the Supercolony threat. But the implosion also created the ominous Meridia black hole in the process. After the successful campaign on Meridia, a few months of back-and-forth control of planetary systems on the Eastern Front occurred, though High Command's primary focus was put onto the automaton forces occupying the Western Front, who had been left unchecked during the recent operations. That was until August 6, 2184, when a mysterious nebula composed of extremely high concentrations of intergalactic Terminid spores appeared. Officially labeled the Gloom, it appears to be a unique variation of traditional spore clouds that were capable of passing through the vastness of space and somehow cause Terminid outbreaks wherever they reach new planets. The Gloom first appeared around the vicinity of a planet lost during the initial outbreak named Anuliel, deep in the Eastern Front. Considering how long the planet has been cut off, there is no telling what might have been there that caused or created the thick cloud now overtaking much of the eastern sectors. The Ministry of Science has been hard at work to discover more information about the levels of concentration the spore cloud has, but currently little is known or has been made public at this time. We do know that on the same day as the Gloom outbreak appeared, previously thought to be extinct Terminid variations were rediscovered while combating the largest ever Terminid super onslaught on planet Socorro 3. The most frightening of them being the Impalers, a highly lethal variant of the Charger, capable of plunging its head into the ground, causing massive tentacles to burst forth surrounding its targets, as well as the Spore Charger, similar to the standard Charger but with the added benefit of a cloud of fog surrounding it. Following the appearance of the Gloom, most Terminid advancements have slowed down dramatically on the Eastern Front, but the SEAF and Helldivers should always remain vigilant, knowing that we have almost no knowledge of exactly what is going on in the sectors it covers. With the introduction of new variants bringing the known total count of Terminid enemy types to 18, we can only speculate what threats could be waiting for us within the Gloom and the outlying planets it may soon cover. One thing we know for sure is when this potential new threat finally reveals itself, or our dedicated staff at High Command discovers a way to penetrate the Gloom, Helldivers and SEAF will be there to answer the call and vanquish our enemies as we always have. And with that, we end another SES History broadcast. What do you think is hiding in the Gloom? Do you remember your first experience with an Impaler or Shriekers? Why have the Terminids stopped advancing? Be sure to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. And remember, Undemocratic views will be reported to the Ministry of Truth, as well as anyone stating controversial ideas deemed undemocratic will be sent to the appropriate facilities for re-education. On behalf of the Ministry of Truth and High Command, this is the SES signing off.